Kris.
And I'm Wyatt Elliott from Notebook Entertainment.
And you're watching Horrorland News. We're back. Alright, so we've been gone a while. That's my fault. Issues. Whatever. So, but we're back. And because we've been gone so long, we can't squeeze all the news that we want to talk about into one episode. So we'll be back Monday with the part 2, I guess, of this.
Right.
We'll just go through some of the older stories that we were more excited to talk about that we missed out on. And a couple new ones in this episode. So come back Monday for brand new news.
Right. Yeah, there you go. Fair enough.
But
this is like a recap.
Exactly. Recap what you missed. What you missed ugly. So, but we haven't been staying away from horror. We actually last week went to a really fun event in Chicago at the Music Box Theater. They had a William Castle night. They played House on Haunted Hill. They had all the little fun effects and everything, the skeleton flying. It was amazing. It was sold out. The horror crowd in Chicago is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
It was so much fun. The energy in the room was great. Everybody was cheering and laughing and just having a great old time. So
great time. If
they've got little theaters like that in your city or something, check them out. Go up and see if they'd be interested in hosting events like that. But yeah, check it. Get horror going in your communities.
Right. This is a little theater that hosts every year a Rocky Horror Picture Show event. They host, screens of independent films.
Yep. We saw Kevin Smith's reboot movie there.
Yeah, we sure did. So it's a great little theater, and there's ones all across the country that are like this.
Check them out.
Support them.
All right, so let's get into this with TV Roundup.
No TV and no beer make Homer something.
Alright, so first up is an animated horror series for older kids from Eli Roth and DreamWorks.
Oh, wow.
It's called Fright Crew, spelled Krewe.
Oh, I have heard of this.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
There's no release date yet. It is going to be 10 episodes, and it will premiere on Hulu and Peacock. No voice cast has been announced yet. But they have announced the series, and so we wanted to put it out there, let you know that it's coming, get your older kids excited.
Hulu and Peacock. That's interesting.
So here's what this animated series is going to be about. An ancient prophecy and a voodoo queen put misfit teens in charge of saving New Orleans from the biggest demonic threat it's faced in almost 2 centuries. But honestly, saving the world might be easier than becoming friends. Truth. People suck.
right, yeah. I mean...
Like, I fight evil, but I have to do it as a group project? Ugh.
Group projects are the worst.
Right, I hate group projects. So next up we have the Twisted Metal series that's coming to Peacock. They've released a clip and photos. If you don't know, it's based on the game, which he probably knows a lot about because he's big in
Twisted Metal was awesome. It really, It was one of the launch titles, I think, one of the early titles at least for PlayStation 1. But it's a racing combat game.
Yeah, I remember everyone talking about it and Sweet Tooth and everything.
Sweet Tooth, yeah.
Will Arnett's gonna voice Sweet Tooth.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, but he's gonna be portrayed on screen by wrestler Samoa Joe.
Yeah, because he's a big dude. Yeah,
right.
I don't see the other guy doing
But Will Arnett's going to do the voice. So it's also starring Anthony Mackie as the main guy that we're following. Nev Campbell, Stephanie Beatrice, who we love from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Rosa Diaz.
It is Rosa,
yeah.
okay.
And Thomas Hayden Church, who also, I love him, so
interesting.
It's cool. So here's what it's going to be about for those who maybe don't know. Peacock's high-octane action comedy series follows a motor-mouthed outsider who is offered a chance at a better life, but only if he can successfully deliver a mysterious package across a post-apocalyptic wasteland.
See, post-apocalyptic, that's what I was saying.
You weren't wrong.
Right.
So this will be premiering again on Peacock July 27th. I'm just glad somebody's paying Nev Campbell what she wants to get her in a movie.
Well, that's true. That's true. But then,
shade, scream shade.
But then again, she may have also been willing to take less for a new project than one that she's already
carried
built.
on her back. Right.
Exactly.
All right, so let's move on to Trailer Park.
In a world.
All right, so we've got a bunch of them here. Most of them are independent, so...
Well,
those are the more fun ones.
Right.
So the first one we're going to talk about is called It Lives Inside.
This one was creepy.
Right. Written and directed by, and I'm sorry if she's got an Indian name, so I don't want to, but Bishal Dutta. So it's about a girl named Sam is desperate to fit in at school, rejecting her Indian culture and family to be like everyone else. When a mythological demon spirit latches onto her former best friend, she must come to terms with her heritage in order to defeat it.
Yeah, I liked that aspect of it.
Bishal Dutta has said in interviews that she's basing it on her own childhood growing up, from being an immigrant from India and all that into America and all. The traditions and her, kind of trying to separate and integrate. When they want to integrate into a society. So this actually premiered at South by Southwest this year. There's no specific release date, but people are expecting it out this fall sometime, which makes sense. Yeah. So we'll definitely keep you updated because it looks cool. I like the special effects in the trailer when she's like the ghost or whatever is grabbing the hair.
Yes,
from behind
her. I found it very creepy. I liked the trailer of this one a lot.
Yep.
So.
All right. So moving on from creepy to weird. The next one's called Spider Baby. For some of you, that name may sound familiar. This is a remake of the 1967 cult film from Jack Hill that starred Sid Haig and Lon Chaney Jr. Now, I haven't seen that, but it makes me very interested. The trailer made me interested to go back and watch the old one. So the remake will be from indie filmmaker Dustin Ferguson, who did Cocaine Cougar and Mega Ape, which now I must see both of those.
Wait, this must be coming out then.
I have no idea, but I must see them both.
Right.
And then Jack Hill will actually executive produce the series so that they want to keep it as true as they can to the 67 version. So Jack Hill is coming back to executive produce. And actress Beverly Washburn, who was in the original film, will be in the remake, but in a new role. Not the same one she had before.
Yeah, I would definitely like to look up the original one before seeing this.
Exactly.
I'm not educated on this one at all. Like, this one caught me by surprise when they were saying that it was a
remake. And the trailer looks crazy.
It does.
It looks nuts.
It looks batshit crazy.
Also fun, Ron Chaney, the grandson of Lon Chaney Jr., will be in this film as well. So they really are trying to,
class
show
it up a little bit.
Well, show respect to what came before.
Makes sense,
yeah. So here's what it is about. Oh no, I guess they didn't give me a synopsis. So just good luck.
You have to
figure it out from the trailer. Good luck.
Big fat bug right in my spider web. Virginia, are you crazy? You're bad. Bad.
You were not supposed to play spider anymore. Animal spiders creep and crawl. Boys and ghouls having a ball. Frankenstein, Dracula, and even the mummy are sure to end up in somebody's tummy.
This film is currently in post-production with a premiere slated for October in LA, so it sounds like a limited release, and it'll probably be picked up by Shudder, Screenbox, or something like that. Yeah. All right, so next up we have Suitable Flesh, which I love the name. This is based on a short story by H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah, this one I like too.
Yeah, so the Lovecraft story is The Thing on the Doorstep because we all know his titles. Yeah.
Well,
so
it's a different time.
Right. His title, he needed someone to help him with his titles. Either way, The Thing on the Doorstep is now Suitable Flesh. This will be directed by Joe Lynch, and he wants to keep it very similar to the book, so they're not going to go too far, apparently. It's starring Heather Graham, Judah Lewis from The Babysitter, and Barbara Crampton, who you should know, but previously she also did Reanimator, which is another Lovecraft story.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're watching this show on this channel, you should know who Barbara Crampton is.
So the film follows a once esteemed psychiatrist who gets obsessed with her younger patient who happens to have multiple personalities. After murdering one of her patients, she watches her life take a nightmarish turn as she soon encounters supernatural forces, seemingly connected with an ancient curse. Ooh. Now they do tend to stay true to the story, but I do hope they update a few things because anyone who's read Lovecraft knows that he has a very problematic way of depicting his female characters, among other characters, but we're going to stick with female because it's a female-led story. So, yeah, keep the gross, keep the horror, lose the misogyny. That's all I ask.
I would like to think that goes without saying these days.
In these days, but Lovecraft, it was a different time, whatever. Still, yeah. So there's no release date, but it will premiere at the Tribeca Film Festival later this month before going to Shudder. So this one definitely is going to Shudder.
Okay. That's a good home. It's all right.
Absolutely. All right. Finally, we have one that looks really interesting. It's called Cobweb. It's from Lionsgate. So this is the biggest film of the ones we've talked about so far.
Right, yeah.
It's starring Lizzie Kaplan, who I love. I love Lizzie Kaplan. Written by Chris Thomas Devlin. And it'll be the directorial debut for Samuel Bowden. It's produced by Roy Lee, Andrew Childs, Evan Goldberg, Seth Rogen, James Weaver, and Josh Fagan. Seth Rogen's getting his hands in a lot of stuff lately.
Did you just say, and it's the
And
Seth
Evan
Rogen?
Yeah, it's Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. They're
All
writing
right.
partners or producing partners or whatever.
Interesting.
So here's what Cobweb is about. 8-year-old Peter is plagued by a mysterious constant tap-tap from inside his bedroom wall, a tapping that his parents insist is all in his imagination. As Peter's fear intensifies, he believes that his parents could be hiding a terrible, dangerous secret and questions their trust. And for a child, what could be more frightening than that? I want to know what the tapping is.
Right, like it's a lot of them are these demonic forces in the house or boogeyman type movies, but you know, I always like to see what the different twists are. It
seems like to me from the trailer that like the parents maybe made like some kind of deal or something with some entity.
Right.
And so they're trying to like ignore it, but the kid's like, no guys. That's what it seems like to me from the trailer, but I could be wrong. I would like to be wrong because I would like to be surprised. Mm-hmm. All right, so that wraps up Trailer Park for this episode. We'll have more coming Monday. But for right now, let's get into the news. So I'm super excited about this project. Cher and her son, Chaz Bono, are producing a horror movie. It's called Little Bites. So Heather Langenkamp and, again, Barbara Crampton. She's everywhere. She's living her life, man. Yeah. They'll be among the cast. It'll be directed by Spider One, who is a musician who's also directed a few indie horror films, Allegoria and Bury the Bride. So Little Bites follows Mindy, a young widow and mother who tries to protect her daughter Alice from a flesh-eating monster named Agyar. Mindy has been secretly sacrificing her own life by allowing the creature to feast on her body as she keeps Alice hidden away at her grandmother's house.
Interesting. And it's
supposed to be, I guess, a statement on motherhood and what it takes out of you to keep your children safe, raise them right, all that stuff. So I can see that.
Yeah,
I see it.
Right.
I see the metaphor.
It kills you.
Right.
Children slowly kill
bite
you.
by bite, they slowly just take all that you are. And that's why I will not have kids.
Right.
That, and I've seen too many creepy kids kill their parents in these movies. No. Nuh-uh. Not doing it. So, a real fun fact about this movie, I guess James and Chelsea from Deadmeat are going to be in it.
Right.
Go them, man.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Chelsea shared it on her Twitter. But yeah, it's real exciting. It's exciting to see fellow YouTubers that love horror so much get to be a part of it like this.
Right, yeah. No, I agree. I think it's very, very exciting to see. And when YouTubers go mainstream at all, it's always, or TikTokers or whatever, it's always kind of cool, to see that. It's happening more and more, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And when you get to those kind of subscribers, you get attention from elsewhere,
and while the writer's strike's going on and everything, now's your chance. Make some stuff on YouTube, guys. Get it out there for the world to see. People are starving for entertainment.
Or will be.
Be once. Yeah. All right, so let's move on. Trick or Treat Studios is releasing the first ever board game based on the original Halloween movie.
Yeah, this is cool.
It's now available for pre-order. It's a 2 to 4 person game where one player plays as Michael Myers and the rest control Laurie and her friends on a search for weapons, protecting the kids, and escaping. And apparently you can only see Michael Myers when your player is facing him. So you have to be staring at Michael Myers to see him.
Awesome.
The game comes with little cardboard player pieces, but Trick or Treat Studios offering a special pack of little plastic minifigs. Oh. Those are also pre-order right now, so they do come separate.
Oh, sweet.
So, moving on. Lionsgate is rebooting the Leprechaun franchise. I know this is older news. I know this is old news, that this has been around for a couple weeks now, but we have not, and I need to talk about this.
And I haven't heard this, so...
Yep. How have you not heard? Okay.
No.
So Felipe Vargas is directing. The screenplay will be by Mike Van Ways. Roy Lee and Vertigo Entertainment are producing. Warwick Davis is not expected to return.
No, he said he doesn't want to anymore. He's past it.
They should have just let him keep making Willow, but Disney fucked that up too. So Aaron Westman, president of production for Lionsgate, said, quote, 30 years after its debut, this franchise still casts a spell, and we're thrilled to be bringing it back with a new vision. Roy and Miri are two of our most trusted producers, especially with this genre, and we're excited by Felipe's vision as the film for the film as a director. And in his hands, this movie should be very scary and a ton of fun.
Okay, that's the problem, though. I think if you're going to go for very scary, that's not what Leprechaun
Right. That
is.
failed the last reboot.
Right. 2 reboots ago. The Origins reboot, they tried to take it seriously,
Scary.
and they made him like a monster.
Which made it funnier to me. I
don't know. I just thought it was ridiculous.
It was stupid.
I couldn't even. I couldn't even watch that one. Though then they remade it with the wrestler guy, the little wrestler guy, and I thought that one I heard was decent. As far as like without Warwick Davis. And I was rewatching the Warwick Davis ones, and I was going to watch that and never got around to it. So I don't know.
Yeah, they need to understand that Leprechaun is horror comedy at its core.
It's like Freddy Krueger. Like when they tried taking it too seriously, it did not work. It needs to have that little humor in it. Mm-hmm. So...
Because it's a ridiculous concept.
It's very
ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, guys. It's like if you're going to try to like remake... Evil Bong, don't make it a real horror movie, you know, like
serious Evil Bong movie.
Right, you just can't do that. It's not what it. Well, we'll see.
Right, we'll see because we don't know what his ideas are. They haven't said what his ideas are, what direction he wants. If it's gonna be like Halloween and Scream, where it rebuilds off the first one, we have no idea yet.
Right. Yeah.
If it just starts all over, we have no idea yet.
Maybe it picks up after Leprechaun in Space, and he's still in space.
I mean, I would. I'm not saying I wouldn't watch it.
Oh my god.
All right, so moving on. This one's for me because I like books, but Shortwave Publishing is releasing the first in a collection of horror novels called the Killer VHS series. Each novella will feature a plot revolving around a VHS tape creating mayhem, and the covers are reminiscent of VHS box covers.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so the first up is Melonhead Mayhem, written by Alex Eberstein. It will be released July 11th. So here's what that book is about. Cousins Carson and Sophia are in town for their grandma's funeral and are unknowingly about to live out the nightmare that is every horror fan's dream. After they find an old, unfamiliar VHS tape tucked away in grandma's house. Did they even know what it is? Come on. They figure the worst that can happen is a few cringeworthy moments and 90 minutes wasted. Instead, the video summons the movie monsters, local urban legends called Melonheads, into their very real lives. The destruction caused by the bloodthirsty Melonheads has Carson and Sophia fighting to survive and sets them on a deadly path to the shores of Lake Michigan, home of the devilish beasts. They vow to destroy every last one of the Melonheads and make sure these monsters never get a sequel.
All right.
So it's supposed to be reminiscent of the old creature features, this first book.
Yeah.
They already have the second in the series lined up to release in November. That one will be called Candy Cane Kills. Cane spelled like the name, Kain.
Right, I figure, yeah.
By Brian McAuley. So they didn't have a synopsis for what that one's about, but that one's coming out in November. So it's a little series they're starting where each book is gonna start with a VHS fucking up everyone's life.
So it's kind of like the movie series VHS, but in a book form.
In a book form.
Cool.
Or like The Ring. Like each one is going to be a little
one
ring story.
Right,
yeah.
Instead of a montage of stories, it's I got it.
Exactly. So because we're so behind and this episode's long, I didn't do an indie film spotlight, but I did want to touch on a local story for us here in the Chicagoland, Northern Illinois area. Terror Roulette is coming to Chicago this fall. Terror Roulette invites participants to become part of an immersive story where the villain known as the Dealer literally holds all the cards. The Dealer presides over a sinister realm filled with a host of maniacal slayers, each with their own killer specialty. Terror Roulette provides an adrenaline-fueled adventure combining heart-pounding challenges with a dynamically evolving narrative. The dealer's deck of cards determines the fate of the guests, revealing the horrors that await them in the next room. As groups of 8 guests navigate the experience, they will be separated and reshuffled, ensuring that each encounter presents new terrors and surprises. Some individuals may even be forced to confront their deepest fears alone. So it's like a horror experience.
Interesting.
Yeah. So Jeffrey Holmes, who's head of IWG Productions, is quoted as saying about this: "Prepare to face the dealer and his cadre of assassins as they unleash a night of fright that will push guests to their limits. Terror Roulette offers an immersive environment where adrenaline, suspense, and vile acts intertwine, guaranteed an unparalleled thrill. With the dealer's capricious nature, no 2 visits will be the same."
Interesting.
So you can go 2, 3, 4 times and never have the same experience, is what they're saying. All participants will be required to sign a waiver, and the option of safe words will be available should anyone want to bail out. You must be 16 or older to participate.
Interesting.
It will run from September 29th through October 31st, and I want to go.
Right. No, this sounds really cool. Where is it? In Chicago?
Yep. This fall, yep. So
yeah, we have to look into that.
all of our local Northern Illinois, Chicago area peeps.
Horror fans.
Right.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's do this. Let's get a group together. Let's go. We need 8 people. All right. That's it for today.
All right.
We'll be back Monday with a lot more.
Yeah, that's our show for today. Thanks for watching our catch-up show. That's what we'll call it, our catch-up show. Tangy catch-up show. Please like and subscribe. Click that button so you get notifications. We're back, so we're going to hopefully be posting videos regularly.
We're going to go see Blackening.
The Blackening, yeah.
So we're going to go see The Blackening. We'll probably have a review for that next week at some point, too.
That's true, too. And we're up to over 500 subscribers. Thank you, guys. While we were gone, you guys kept watching, so thank you so much. We appreciate it. We love you.
Yep. We'll see you next time. Bye.
That's HORRORLAND here, guys.
Talk about a cougar.